This week we're heading off for a spa weekend. Unfortunately, not that kind of spa. This spa has lots of cars going round and round in circles, with admittedly varying degrees of success. On the way there we stop off at a place in France sacred to our Canadian friends, and on the way back we cross this bridge to crushing disappointment. And this epic road trip was epic even before we left the UK. Stopped off in Sheffield to pick up my friend Richard, then we headed down for the Channel Tunnel. We're here about 6 hours too early because it was booked to go across at midnight, but Richard wasn't working today, so we've got here and managed to get on an earlier train. I do love travelling by Channel Tunnel because you drive your car on at one end and then 35 minutes later you drive it off again at the other end and you are in France. So we had an overnight in Calais before we headed for the village of Vimy, with only one stop off on the way. On the way to Spa, we are stopping off to sample some of the local French cuisine, and after this we're going to go somewhere that will be quite important to our Canadian friends. So any Canadians watching, you're going to quite like this next bit. So we promised you something with a slight Canadian flavour, well actually a very, very strong Canadian flavour. Is he making faces behind my back again? Lots and lots of school children who take the history here very seriously. It's good to see them out and about actually learning about this stuff. You wouldn't get that back home, they'd all be on their phones. And up there, there's a Canadian flag and a French flag, because we are in France, but that over there is the Vimy Canadian Memorial. We're going to go and look at that. It's amazing. And unfortunately, I was quite looking forward to putting the drone over this. That is quite explicit, and we are in France, so I'll probably get arrested or shot or something. If you are from Canada, you'll probably know the story of Vimy, but if you're not, this is Vimy Ridge, which was held by the Germans, and the Canadians were ordered to come and take it. And the Canadians actually took Vimy Ridge twice. But unfortunately, the first time they took it, effectively the British didn't expect them to take it, so when the British saw troops moving about on top of the ridge, they shelled it. So the Canadians got shelled off Vimy Ridge by their own troops, and then quite a long time later they got it back again. You can't really see it yet, but trust me, it's one of the most impressive memorials in all of the World War I battlefields. And this that we're looking at in front of us, these hills and stuff, were all caused by shelling. This was an absolute war zone, literally. There was, every metre of ground was taken at the cost of lots and lots of lives, with the Germans on top trying to stop the Canadians getting up the hill. Canadians came from down there, and there's still lots of bits and pieces to see in those trees. We might go for a wee look, or might not. I look at things like this and wonder if the reason that the job was given to the Canadians is the British High Command thought, yeah, that's far too hard, never going to manage that, let's send in some expendable troops, let's send in the colonials. The closer you get to it, the more impressive it is. We'll go along the front and then we'll go up to the top. Hopefully there won't be too many people about. It's a very popular destination for obvious reasons. Now, I'm not 100% sure, so I'll edit this bit out if I'm talking nonsense, but I think that statue there is Mother Canada weeping for her lost youth. I think that's what that symbolises. I'll see if I can find out actually, because it is quite interesting. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of names engraved on this wall. As with all these memorials, it always really, really makes you think. It's a fairly monumental sculpture. I do really like it, as you can probably tell. There's some more statue-y dudes there, and bent swords and all sorts of symbolism going on that I don't pretend to understand, and I won't insult your intelligence by pretending that I do. A lot of the foresty bits and the bits that you can see down there are still fenced off. They're still dangerous, because even all these 100 odd years later, there's still unexploded munitions and probably all sorts of poison gas and nasties just under the surface in there. It's a thing they call the iron harvest. Every year more and more old munitions and old stuff gets churned up, and it still kills people. So 100 and whatever years later, people are still dying from weapons used in the First World War. I do still kind of think the Canadian Memorial should be at Passchendaele in Belgium, but it's not, it's here, so who am I to argue? To the valour of their countrymen in the Great War and in memory of their 60,000 dead, this monument was raised by the people of Canada. So yeah, it's really cool. If you're ever coming across, it's worth a visit, even if you're not particularly Canadian. And some more quite impressive statues. And beside the statues, another massive array of names. It has been a lot busier here, but it's still a challenge to get a shot like that with no people in it. So I've been kneeling down here for the last 10 minutes, probably annoying everyone behind me. But there you go, there's the Vimy Memorial, and now we're going to head off to Spa. If you go into the woods today, well actually, yeah, just don't bother. There you are, told you, undetonated explosives. Although there are some sheep bleating somewhere down that hill, they probably know not to stamp their little feet too hard. We're not going to walk down it just now because we don't really have time because we're heading for Belgium, but that's the memorial there. And this is the line of craters I was talking about all the way down through those woods, so it must have been, as I say a lot in these circumstances, unimaginable. Right, absolutely have to get on. Next stop, Spa. Well, we've made it about approximately 200 metres because we're going to go and look at a thing. But before we go and look at that thing, talking about the Canadians in World War I, this is all the places where they fought Belgium and France. And here's an interesting thing that I didn't know till I started coming here. As well as Canada, a completely separate dominion, a completely separate part of the British Empire, was Newfoundland. And those guys paid, and those guys paid a horrendous price. One day I'll take you to the Newfoundland Memorial at Beaumont Hamel. It's, yeah. So this is what we're here to see, Canadian Cemetery number 2, because it's all very well seeing names carved into a wall, but this gives you an impression of the human cost at which this ridge was taken. For the men whose bodies were found in the trees over there, there will still be hundreds or more bodies just who are lost, men who have no known grave. They'll be on one of the big memorials somewhere, possibly up on Vimy Ridge itself. But there you go, that's the Canadian number 2 cemetery. An awful lot of men for not a huge piece of land. So that's enough of the First World War and what the Canadians sacrificed. And in this cemetery you can see not only the Canadians, we're going to keep heading towards Spa. Not saying we're not going to stop again, but the plan is now to head towards Spa. Because at this rate we are never going to get there. Is he making faces behind me again? No, he's not. And when we left this all behind and eventually made it to Spa, I had to do something that I really wasn't keen on. Because I didn't have a van for this trip, I had to bring a tent and go camping. I am not a big fan of either tents or camping. They've got us walking down this really crappy little path to try and get in. Not impressed so far. So we collect our wristbands from here, and Richard is now wondering who I'm talking to. Hi Richard! Right, we've made it to Spa. Let's go and watch some cars going round and round in circles. We're probably going to see quite a lot of cars going round and round in circles in the next 3 days. There will be some entertainment on later. Apparently they've got bands, but for now we're going to walk about and soak up the ambience. Oh, they've got some toys. Probably not going to buy any of those, but they do look really cool. Lego Speed Champions BMW stuff, obviously, in a BMW shop. The Pirelli stand is not quite as full as the BMW stand. That's because they all look a bit tired. I'm probably going to spend quite a lot of time in the next few days taking the mickey out of this, but look at that hill there. Let's see, there's a car going up it. This is actually going to be quite cool. The original plan for this trip was we were going to run round racetracks where they do running events, and we were going to come here, but unfortunately we can't run round the track because you get run over by one of those. We'll come back and do that at some point. And some marketing clearly targeted at Bex. So there's a gin bar. They have got a lot of ways here to separate you from your money. Lots of nice things. Oh look, BMW t-shirts. Richard, they've got BMW t-shirts. I know. For all my taking the mick, I might well be buying something in this shop. I will keep you posted as long as you promise not to tell Bex. Unsurprisingly, I didn't spend any money in that shop. Nice stuff, but yeah, no. Don't need it. Just been to the monster stall. We don't actually want any monster, but it is free, so yeah, might have collected these. There's not many cars here that I actually recognise, apart from by the badges, but I do recognise that one. Who remembers Back to the Future? That is, there is a time-travelling DeLorean. Come across into the middle of the track because Richard has got tickets with paddock access. I've got no idea what that involves. I know roughly what a paddock is, but yeah, no idea what we'll get to see. Might be exciting and interesting, or might not. What there is mostly in this bit is a lot more shops, I think. Yeah, it's quite interesting. I'm not sure it's going to be after 4 days, but fortunately on Saturday we escape because the closest park run is in Holland, so we're going there. Well, I'm going there. Never mind all the car racing. I want to see truck racing. That would be apparently it's actually a thing, but it'd be pretty cool to see that happening. Big carnage. Really nice cars here. Probably cost more than my entire net worth will ever be, but hey ho, that's a Ferrari, and there's a Maserati, and there's a Mercedes, and oh, it's a BMW. Lots and lots of hardcore car spotters here, which is probably not surprising. Here's something we weren't anticipating. Once we got there, we very quickly realised we had no idea what was actually going on the track. There was lots and lots of cars, as I said before, going round and around in circles, but you didn't know where they were, if there was a race going on, and who was in first and who was in second, because it was just, yeah, lots and lots of cars going round and round in circles. There was a commentary that explained everything. Unfortunately, it was almost entirely in French. That's not to say I wasn't enjoying it. Having a better day than the driver of this thing anyway. It's a huge sight Spa, you'd be amazed how big the bit inside the track actually is, and we tried to walk to see as much of it as we possibly could, racking up about 20 kilometres, which takes some doing because the whole racetrack is only 7 and a bit kilometres long. You probably can't hear me, but this is obviously a very popular spot. I brought my good camera, so I'm going to try and get some nice photos. So we headed to the grandstand so I could try and get some photos. I mean, how hard could it be? And we had the enjoyable and informative commentary going the whole time, which was quite frankly a bit loud. It drowned out the cars sometimes. I bet when there's a big event on, like a Formula 1 Grand Prix, you can't get a seat in this grandstand, but for here it was perfect. Got a great view of the track, so I'm now going to show you my amazing photographic skills. Ah, flip, these cars are going faster than they look. I did start to get slightly better. There's a tiny bit of a car, and there's more of a car, and a bigger bit of a car. Yeah, I really need some practice. I will show you some proper pictures later on. In the meantime, here's the only 2 things I managed to photograph, the slowest 2 things on the track. And that was it for our first day at Spa. I'd actually quite enjoyed it, although I still had no idea what was going on and only barely recognised a few of the cars. Anyway, time to head back to our campsite where I'm hoping for a nice, quiet, peaceful night.
It is about 7 o'clock in the morning, and the party outside has started up again. I don't know if you can hear that, but that went on till, I don't know, about 7 o'clock this morning, and then it started again. I'm really not cut out for camping. It's also pouring with the rain, which hopefully will dampen their spirits a little bit, because I'd like to get some sleep before we have to go back and watch cars going round and round in circles again.
The rain didn't really stop all morning, but it did make conditions on the track, I guess, a lot more interesting, because there was quite a few cars that looked a little bit like this. I'll bet that is not an insubstantial amount of money's worth of damage to the back of that Lamborghini there, and I now know what a Lamborghini looks like. I'm getting the hang of this car spotting business. So we are halfway through day 2 and we've seen the same cars going around in circles that we saw going around in circles yesterday. This is, yeah, it's all right, but it's, yeah, you can sit down and watch it and you don't have any idea what's going on, who's in the lead, who's not in the lead, any of that stuff. It's just lots of cars and nothing exciting's happened. It's not all posh cars, there's also some Toyotas. Look at the prices. Wow. Still haven't seen anybody at the official Lamborghini store. Unlike the pita stall, we just had a kebab thing from there, and it was quite nice. Yeah, a bit of culinary update on this episode. Right, it's time for a cup of coffee. Let's go and look at the. None of the prices for the food is actually that bad. So let's see. Let's have an Americano with milk. I think the with milk will confuse them. Cheers! At least the rain stopped, that's the main thing. I've got a really nice looking poncho that I might show you later, or I might not because it looks frankly ridiculous. After our coffee we went to the seat in a different grandstand. This one was beside the start-finish straight where all the cars were setting up for the next race. Now these are the GT2 cars, which are really expensive as opposed to just being really expensive. But we didn't hang about for long here because we were going to go and try and see the rest of the track, so we head off for a walk and promptly got lost. This is a massive site and we keep getting lost, so we're trying to find our way to the very top corner of it. We're now going to look at this thing and see... Oh, the bottom! Alright, we can go to Blanchemont that way or that way. Those are completely different paths and Blanchemont is actually that way.
Yeah, but I was looking at that one at the bottom going straight on. Don't know what the D means.
It means don't go this way. We think there's been some sort of big accident out on the track somewhere, so it's gone from almost nothing happening to absolutely nothing happening, and we walked miles and it's hot and yeah, this motorsport lark is a lot of fun. So many very expensive and very nice cars. Anybody want to Aston Martins? No? Well, I think that's the one that was quite extensively wrapped this morning, looking a bit better now. Not sure, might be a different one, we'll find out from numbers and stuff. It's a good bit busier than it was earlier, but then the weather is also a good bit better. Let's go and see what's down here. I'm guessing there might be lots of cars, lots and lots of cars. Oh, and somebody taking photographs of cars. When you're here, the chances of getting run over by quite an expensive car are quite high. There's things coming at you from all sides. Not all motor cars though. I found some gin. I bought one of these to take back to Bex, and obviously one for me to try to make sure that it's suitable for Bex. Call me a contrary Mary, but that's the coolest thing that I've seen today. I would have one of those, and it's probably the only car here I could probably one day afford. There's another one. They are. So it's a different one. That's, oh no, it's the same thing. That's cool. I'm going to take all these photos and go home and never ever look at them again. But woo, look, it's a car. Another one, another one. No, no, that's it. All the cars. Next week's video will just be 4 or 5 hours of car footage, because I think that's probably about what I've got, not including all the photographs, of which I have. I have about 1,000 so far. I'm better stock. It's definitely a lot busier than it was yesterday, but we've made a bit of a command decision. We've had enough and we're leaving tomorrow morning. Got to do park run, then we're going to head back to the train. Am I taking a video? I'm taking a video of the back of your phone, Richard, yes?
Yes.
Now, as you can imagine, there's quite a lot of background noise going on at the moment, so apologies for the fact that the sound quality isn't great, but actually the Meta Ray-Ban glasses have done better than I thought they would. So came in here to have a look at some of the toy cars, or actually they're probably not toy cars, they're probably highly collectible, because I think at €25 you wouldn't buy it just to play with it. Oh, there's a really good picture. I'm going to have that one. Hang on 1 second, people. You'll be fed up with this by. Don't worry about it. No more cars next week, I promise, unless it's just an extended episode from this week. After 2 days, there's still nobody in the Lamborghini official store. And I've just figured out that my glasses on which I am recording this bit of footage will automatically have updated the time to Belgian time, whilst my GoPro on which I'm filming this bit of footage won't. So I'll have to sit and try and splice it all back together to get things into the correct order, or it won't make any sense. What do you mean I don't make any sense anyway? I just heard the hooter thing. It means all the Lamborghinis will be moving out onto the track, so they're not quite ready to start yet, which means I should be able to get to my wee vantage point at the end of the straight before they set off. If I survive the accelerated pace up that hill, that is. And more importantly, when I get there, I can have a sit down, because there's lots and lots of empty seats. Yeah, off in the distance, and you won't be able to see this, but I can. There's lots and lots of people gathering on the grid. That's all the hangers on that have got special tickets, or are part of the teams, or associated with the teams, or have slept with somebody from a team, and now there's a big banner right in the way. Photographers congregate here for the start, in case anything, what did I say? Oh yeah, exciting happens, and once it's started, they all go away, because nothing exciting happens usually. I have been up so many flights of stairs today, I've had just about enough of it. The tension mounts. They're off doing their sort of pre-start lap where they all drive round and stuff, and then they drive round and stuff some more, a bit faster. Oh, here they come. Right, action stations, get the camera out. I've no idea how they actually start this, if they all stop and then start, or if they just, oh, green light. Wow, look at that, it's quite cool. Oh yeah boy! Oh, hey! I mean, oh dear! The drivers are all out their cars now. This guy in this car down here appears to have hurt himself, because the driver from the other car came running across to see if he was okay. I think they're okay. I think, yeah, he's walking across there. They're all fine. That's good. That means I can use the photos. If I'd been serious, I couldn't have used the photos. I know I was saying I was hoping for some excitement, but thankfully everybody is okay. They're just getting all the cars out of the way so the race can continue. As they were clearing away some of the carnage, we noticed that one of the drivers was still down at the side of the track, and he ended up getting taken away in the ambulance. But his team later posted that he was okay, so that's good. All's well that ends well. No damage done, apart from probably a few £100,000 worth of these cars. Now, I'm not an expert on the maintenance and repair of carbon fibre racing cars like these thoroughbreds, but I'm guessing that's probably not just going to polish out. But with the last of the wrecked cars removed from the track, the race could then continue, although from this point on it was frankly a lot less exciting. So whilst the surviving Lamborghinis completed their race, we packed our bags and headed back to the campsite. Back down at the end of the day. Just stopped off here to show you there's so much work goes into this. Look at all those trucks. I mean, how many dozen lorries are here, not including all the people and support crews, and all the way down there, ones that you can't see. There's garages that go on for miles down there, and there's lots and lots of people working in all of them. And if you thought we were joking about the way in and out of this multi-million-pound venue being up and down that little slippery slope, then no, there it is there. There's people coming down there with walking sticks and people with reduced mobility. It wasn't a lot of fun. Really, I think they could have come up with a better system than this. I can't imagine this is how they do it at Grand Prix weekend. It would be dangerous, difficult and incredibly annoying. That night, I actually ended up sleeping in the car because I couldn't stand it anymore in the tent. The Party Central over there was still Party Central. I don't know what these guys are on, but I want some. Amazingly, off over there, they are still at it. That's like all night that music's been going. I'm glad we are leaving today.
We've escaped the noises of Spa and we've come to a place called Aachen, which, as you probably know, is actually in Germany, but it's the nearest park run to Spa. So we're here to do park run and then we're going to go for a leisurely drive back to Calais. How's that for a plan? Might show you some interesting things along the way. Well, I think they're interesting and I'm the one with the camera. It is a really nice part of the world and it's a really nice morning again. Temperature is 20 degrees and it's only about 7 o'clock, so it's going to get quite hot later on, I think. We'll see how we do. My wee car's not got air conditioning. Well, it has, but I forgot to get it regassed, so yeah, could be a bit sweaty. It's the park run tradition of doing battle with the flag. These flags are a pain in the bits.
Always clapping when we are coming, because we are the first ones.
Very good.
Every
Anyone who's keeping score, that is where we are. Leusberg or Leusberg or something. Apparently Richard has just read the course description and it's challenging, which means it's going to be horrendous. And after a run briefing delivered in faultless English, right, let's do this. From the course description, it sounds like this one was going to be brutal, and this is just the first wee bit. Apparently there's a big hill at the end of the lap. Yay. It's one of these runs you actually wonder if it would be quicker just walking uphill. I've got a watch set to show me if my heart rate goes above 180. That's the quickest that's ever happened. I suppose it doesn't help. I've had 2 nights of fairly bad sleep at that campsite, so I got myself some slack. It's a nice day to be out for a run. Bex would love it here, apart from the hills. In summary, the uphills are long and draggy and not very nice, and the downhills are short and steep and equally not very nice. I'm not going to whine again now. Next time you see me, I'll be smiling and we're going to do some exploring. We are on lap 2, and they said there was a brutal uphill at the end of the lap 1. I didn't see it, so that's good. Or maybe when the run director said there was a steep hill at the end of the lap, maybe it was downhill, maybe it's the big downhill we went down. Yeah, it could be. I'm glad I've got my heart rate thing going because it tells me when I need to stop, and it gives me an excuse to stop because I didn't used to bother. This hill will be much more fun now that I know that it's quite a lot of down. That is just weird. They talked about the hill and you thought, I've said this already, I'm repeating myself, but Bex isn't here to give it at, so you guys are getting the benefit. Yeah, they said it was a big hill. I didn't realise it was a big downhill. This is the road back down to the finish. I'm feeling surprisingly good. This has gone quite well. Woohoo! 400 metres to go. I'm not walking now. I'm going to make it to the finish. Ignore the building site. It's, as I said before, quite a pretty part of the world. We were going to explore a little bit of Aachen, but apparently you need some low emission token to drive about the town, and we don't have one. So we're just going to head back for Belgium instead. Richard runs on the treadmill, tries to keep fit, but doesn't do a great deal of things like park runs, so this would have been absolutely brutal for him. He's done extremely well to get round. Big round of applause for Richard. Oh, and he's running again. Yay! I saw you walking, it's fine. And the last stop before we go to Calais is back here at Ypres. We've stopped here because the best burger shop in the world is here, as long-time watchers will know. There's also some sort of festival on, so go and check that too. And the mysterious tunnel that I think you might have seen before, but anyway, it's a dark and mysterious tunnel, whether you've seen it before or not. As you know, I do like Ypres. It's just the fact that the whole place was totally flattened in the First World War and then totally rebuilt. So nothing here is older than about 1920, but it looks so much more historic. It's really nice, an exact copy of the original. We have escaped the motorsport in Spa, and we've come here, and I think there's a motorsporty thing happening. There is a motorsporty thing happening here as well. Yay! Lots and lots of rally cars. This is this is not what I was expecting, or indeed wanting. I wonder if there are any Citroen Cactuses in this rally. I'm guessing probably not. It says historic rally. None of this looks very historic to me. No, this cannot be. It's gone. Yperburger has gone. We've come all the way across Europe and
I nearly joked on the way saying, what if it's closed?
Yperburger will never close. Oh, it's back. They took this away for a while. It used to be over the road. It's a Lego Meningate ceremony, complete with lots of little minifigures, and yeah, it's really, really cool. Right, that's enough touristing for now. We will definitely be back in Ypres, and when we do, we'll definitely be back here in the Commonwealth Wargraves Commission's place. But for now, we're heading back to Calais. I've got to do some shopping, because obviously, being the romantic type, I want to take Bex back some roses. And the last stop on this wee road trip is here. This is the Aachen supermarket at Coquelles near Calais, and it's very convenient for the entrance to the Channel Tunnel. So you come here, you buy your roses, and then you head for the train. It's quite a good system, and it's also much cheaper than it is back home. And over in this corner there's the Isle of Roses that Bex likes. These are her favourite roses, so I'm always happy to buy her some, because I'm quite partial to a wee rosy as well. So there you are, there's the essentials purchased on our French shopping trip. Lots and lots of rosy and the odd bottle of white, just in case we ever get any visitors.